It's Tuesday, January 6, 2026. On the news this hour, former Rivers Commissioner Wibu Bassa raises alarm over slow police investigation after political attack. Tammy Danagogo denies alleged involvement in assassination plot. Wike goes head-to-head with APC National Secretary over Rivers politics. Police arrest Aleto Eleme youth leader, one other over kidnap and death in Rivers. On the foreign scene, Venezuela swears in interim president after Maduro's arrest. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. We begin the news this morning with rising concerns over the safety of political commentators as the political climate heats up ahead of the 2027 elections in Rivers State. Former Commissioner for Employment in the state, Dr. Lelonu Wibu Bassa, is raising concern over what he describes as the slow pace of police investigations several days after he was attacked by suspected political thugs at the Orazi axis of Port Harcourt. Dr. Wibu Bassa, who spoke with our correspondent Soebi Oruware, says he is worried that despite wide media report of the attack, the alleged perpetrators, whom he claims are well known, are still moving freely around the city without any arrest. Giving an update on his experience, Dr. Wibu Bassa says there has been no visible progress in bringing those responsible to justice. A situation, he says, raises serious concerns about public safety in the state.
And up till this moment, the police claiming inability to even make one single arrest, when even the person that led the attack is a well-known person. No matter his hiding place, the law will catch up with him. And he will mention and bring every member of the people that went into that hotel that night, breaking doors and putting guns on people's heads and collecting their properties because they were in search of Dr. Wibu Bassa. And so I'm calling on the Commissioner of Police to do more by bringing perpetrators to book.
Now, he is also calling on Governor Siminalayi Fubara to strengthen security across the state, especially as political activities increase ahead of the next election season.
And I also want to encourage the sitting governor to step up and ensure that there is security for every life in Rivers State, because that is his duty. Such a brazen attack where very known young men will attack a former commissioner of Rivers State and a journalist. I'm just advising that the governor needs to step up. It took my interview on Arise yesterday for the police to even make a statement. That's when the police announced that there was such an incident.
Now, speaking further on the rising political tension, Dr. Wibu Bassa advised the Minister of the FCT, Wike, to be mindful of his public statements, noting that such comments could further heat up the polity and worsen the security situation in Rivers State. Recall that the Rivers State Police Command had earlier confirmed that its officers prevented what could have been a deadly attack on Wibu Bassa and an Arise News crew during a live broadcast over the weekend. Meanwhile, former Secretary to the Government of Rivers State and former Minister of Sports, Dr. Tammy Danagogo, is denying claims linking him to an alleged assassination plot alongside Pastor Tombari Joseph Bueneo and others. Now, in a statement signed on Monday by his special assistant, Obele Briggs, Dr. Danagogo describes the allegations circulated on certain online platforms as baseless, false, and deliberately fabricated. Now, he emphasized that he has never engaged in any discussion, meeting, or plan involving violence, assassination, or unlawful activities. According to Danagogo, the claims are a malicious attempt to tarnish his reputation, mislead the public, and drag his name into issues he has no knowledge of. The statement describes the former SSG to the Rivers State government as a peace-loving, law-abiding citizen. He also clarified that he is not on the run as alleged. Now, still talking politics, Minister of the FCT, Wike, has issued a warning to National Secretary of the APC, Senator Ajibola Basiru, to stay out of Rivers State politics following Basiru's public support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Now, Wike gave the warning while speaking to supporters in Oyibo local government area of Rivers State on Monday. He says Rivers State is not open to political interference from outsiders. The former Rivers governor warned that the support of Rivers leaders for President Bola Tinubu should not be taken for granted. And in response, the National Secretary of the APC, Senator Ajibola Basiru, has asked the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to resign from his ministerial job over his obsession with River State politics and the APC. In a statement on Monday, Bashiru says Wike has no right to interfere in APC matters until he officially joins the party. He also denies Wike's claim that he is motivated by River State's 600 billion naira funds, saying he is not an opportunist and has always acted on principle. And now to security concerns. The River State Police Command has arrested 2 suspects in connection with the disappearance and death of Samson Muonyili, who was reported missing in November 2025. Police spokesperson Grace Iringikoko says the arrest followed intelligence-led investigations by the anti-kidnapping unit after the victim's mother submitted a petition to the command. She explains that the investigation revealed that Muonyili went missing on November 11, 2025, after accompanying youths from Obobo community in Okrika to measure land at their former settlement. According to the police, the suspect, 26-year-old Igwe Alex, the chief security officer of Aleto Eleme community, and 24-year-old John Mikel, also from Aleto Eleme, abducted 2 youths from Okrika during the incident. One of the victims reportedly escaped while Muonyili was killed. The statement says the suspect later led police operatives to the area where the victim's body was buried and his remains were recovered from a shallow grave. The police adds that the suspects are currently in police custody and are cooperating with investigators while efforts are ongoing to arrest other accomplices. Well, away from security concerns now, let's talk about the health sector. A medical expert, Dr. Alexander Hanacho-Nwoke, says he is hopeful that the health sector in River State will improve significantly in 2026. Dr. Hanacho-Nwoke, who is also the National Publicity Secretary of the National Association of Government General Medical and Dental Practitioners, made that statement in an interview with our correspondent, Emekotoka, while sharing his expectations for the new year. He notes that government funding for health has risen from less than 5% to about 15%, a move he says will help more health facilities get the attention they need in 2026. He adds that the River State government has also opened several zonal hospitals to strengthen healthcare across the state.
From the improved allocation from less than 5% to the 15% we are talking now. So the primary healthcare center, secondary healthcare level, and tertiary healthcare level will receive a very huge attention in this year. There will be a robust funding as I'm talking to you. And again, the government is sending people for postgraduate training to see that even these centers that are being commissioned, there will be an measurable and adequate manpower that will man these places.
Dr. Hanacho-Nwoke further highlighted that hiring more staff for secondary and tertiary health institutions and promoting health workers whose careers had been stalled for years show that the government is serious about improving the health sector and its overall performance.
Before this time, you know that many people pay out of pocket for their health issues, but the government has said no. In 2024, he started with the private sector, some of the informal sector. To be precise, the vulnerable groups, the pregnant women, the very aged ones, the under 5, and the physically challenged. And he enrolled them into the River State Contributory Health Protection Program, which is the health insurance scheme.
Now, we go on a quick break now. When we return, constitutional lawyer says U.S. arrest of Venezuela president highlights collapse of international law. Do stay with us. rest of the news. President Bola Tinubu has sent 2 letters to the Senate asking them to confirm 21 nominees for the board of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. In the first letter, he nominated Senator Magnus Abe as the chairman of the NUPRC board. Now, other nominees for the NUPRC board include Paul Yaro Yeji and Sunday Adebayo Babalola. Both will serve as the non-executive commissioners, while executive commissioners were also nominated. In the second letter, President Bola Tinubu nominated Adebite Ebioweri Adeniji as chairman of the NNDPRA board. He also nominated Chief Kenneth Kobani as a non-executive member. And now to international politics. A constitutional lawyer, Professor Richard Mukocha, says the recent U.S. attack on Venezuela and the arrest of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife shows a growing collapse of international law and order. Now, Professor Mukocha, a lecturer in the Department of Public Law at River State University, told our correspondent, Emekotoka, that the development is unfortunate. He noted that the United Nations seems powerless to act against the U.S. because it is a permanent member of the UN Security Council. It says the world is returning to a time when powerful countries act without consequences, taking actions against weaker nations at will. According to him, the United Nations and international law no longer provide adequate protection to member countries.
It's a clear violation of several aspects of international law, and unfortunately, the international force cannot operate. Any international reaction is ruled out. There will only be condemnations and moral reactions to the issue, but not legal action or effective action. Yes. Unfortunately, the international force cannot operate without the unanimous approval of the Security Council, and America cannot sanction or approve action against itself. Neither can Britain support such actions.
On the trial of President Maduro and his wife for alleged drug offenses, Professor Mukocha says the move violates Venezuela's sovereignty and international customary law, which states that a sovereign nation cannot be tried outside their own country.
Even if there is such thing, it is when the man is out of office. That's why it's a violation of sovereignty. You cannot. There is a reason why in international law, even diplomats cannot be arrested and tried in the country in which they are serving, because they represent the sovereign of their nation. So you can't talk of arresting a sovereign and the personification of sovereignty of a sovereign nation. It's completely out of the rules.
Well, away from international politics to local government affairs here in River State, the chairman of Ikwere Local Government Area, Charles Wobodo, says his administration will continue to support sports as a way of developing talent in the area. Wobodo made the statement while kicking off the final match of the Lim Chinyeche constituency football tournament in Imogu, Omakwa on Sunday. He assures that his administration is committed to encouraging more youth to take part in sports and build careers in the sector, describing sports as an effective tool for youth development and empowerment.
I think the atmosphere is good, and for what we've seen so far, the organizer, who is our assembly member, were able to put this on ground, and all of us are supporting. Today is final, and from what we have observed so much, the ball has been very fair between both communities that are playing for the final today. If we continue doing this, I mean that one day, someday, we might have a full team that can represent the state in general one day, or even the nation. And that's the essence, to keep the youth busy from different angles. The sports, the culture, whichever way we can put them busy. That's our responsibility.
Also speaking, the member representing Ikwere State constituency in the River State House of Assembly, Prince Lim Chinyeche, says the tournament was organized to promote peace and encourage youth to develop their football talent. He commended all the teams that took part in the competition, drawn from the 13 wards of the local government area, including those that did not reach the final stage.
I decided to encourage the young talent in the Ikwere local government for them to work in tandem with the new realities of football in Nigeria. Ikwere local government is our local government. We must make Ikwere local government proud. We continue to serve you. I am doing this because you people gave the mandate to me to serve at this point in time, and I don't have much to give to you. From time to time, we shall improve on what we have done today. The journey has just begun. In the next couple of months, we shall turn up to another higher level. This competition is worth 6 million naira and other awards that are here to be presented.
The member representing Ichi, Omoma State Constituency 1 at the State House of Assembly, Ignatius Onwoka, and a leader of the Renewed Hope family in Ward 13, Alo, Boch Nsirim, also spoke at the event.
As you can see, it's glaring. The Ikore people are happy. This is not the first time we've elected somebody into the State House of Assembly. We've had other persons we've elected, but this one is an enigma. The Ikore people are very happy with Honorable Prince Lemchi Eche. Those of us that are leaders in this LGA, we are happy with him, and we are pleading with others to emulate what Prince Lemchi Eche has done in the Ikore local government. And quite frankly, we're very happy.
Honorable
For young men and women. There is a way of voting and getting the young talent that will participate in the future House of Assembly, because I know what I have seen is a way of catching them in the game.
Correspondent Mikotoka reports that Ward 4, Elele, won the tournament after defeating Ward 5, Omerelu, by 4 goals. The winners received the sum of 3 million naira, while the second runner-up, Ward 5 Omerelu, went home with 2 million naira. The third place team, Ward 12 Iguruta, received 1 million naira along with other consolation prizes. Now let's go to Muonyili local government area, where the chairman, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, has responded to recent comment by the President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Senator John Azota Bata, calling them a sign of envy and political bitterness. Dr. Lloyd made the remarks while hosting the first meeting of the Apara Committee of Friends for 2026 in Port Harcourt. He says that unlike Senator Mbata, former Governor Nyesom Wike has supported and empowered leaders across Ikwere land, a legacy that continues to earn him respect.
So when people come to the public, try and state the record straight. So he couldn't have also washed his car, because as at that time, our principal already has a Mercedes-Benz 230, which he was driving, and crisscrossing up the board with that car to help John Mbata become chairman of that local government. But John failed. So if John says people washed his car, he also washed the cars of all of those who voted him to the Senate, because he campaigned to us. He begged us. We are not aware that he voted himself to the Senate.
The Muonyili Council boss adds that any fair account of Senator Mbata's political career would be incomplete without recognizing Wike's contributions. Speaking for the acting president of the ACF, Temple Wenekama, the Director General of the ACF Directorate of Media and Strategy, Alex Muonyili, urged Senator Mbata to stop taking positions against the interests of his own native Ikwere people.
We are not Igbos. You are who you say you are. But through the same Mbata went to take up the position of Ohanaeze Ndigbo to make a mockery or ridicule of Ikwere identity. Why will it always be playing the spoiler's role? Why will the personal interest be above that of the collective interest of your people, the Ikwere people, the other people? Why? I think that Senator Mbata will need to re-examine his actions and put himself in a where we can truly be described as a statesman and not a politician he has vowed not to be.
Well, in other news, the Ewi community in Eche local government area of River State has condemned the killing of one of its members, Ifechukwu Echezulo, who was allegedly beaten to death on November 17, 2025 at Ikweringwo in Iweche. In a communique issued by the community, the chairman of the Community Development Committee, Muonyili Promise, alleges that the killing was carried out by Ami Fule Innocent Abam and his son, Nochirim Innocent Abam, also known as Jagaban. The community describes the incident as an act of jungle justice, which it says has thrown Ewi into mourning and tension. The communique also raises concerns over alleged threat and inciting statements by one Leviners and other individuals from Ikweringwo community directed at one Chioma Choko and Nneka Echezulo Obuzo. The community says that Choko is only seeking justice in the matter and calls for an immediate end to all forms of intimidation and threat.
It may be community condemns in the strong portable term the brutal and inhuman killing of our sons. The community rejects in totality jungle justice. The AV community is further disturbed by recent recognized outbursts threats by certain persons. These threats have been directed at prominent children of a Ewi community. Ewi people, without missing words, condone these threats. Dr. Ifechukwu is a distinguished legal practitioner who discharges his duties.
The community disclosed that formal petitions requesting the arrest and prosecution of those responsible for the killing were submitted on November 19, 2025 to the IGP through Zone 16 headquarters in Bayelsa State, calling for a thorough and transparent investigation into the incident. While reaffirming its commitment to justice and peaceful coexistence, the community warns that it would not remain passive in the face of harassment against its members. It urged relevant authorities to ensure accountability and application of the rule of law.
These petitions seek, among other release, the arrest and the prosecution of all persons found culpable and the taking of all necessary steps to ensure that justice is done without fear or favor. The Ewi community expresses appreciation to the Nigerian police force, particularly on Zone 16, for the professionalism and commitment so far. Those implicated in this crime must not be permitted to turn around and issue threats or intimidate the children of the Ewi community.
The communique dated January 6, 2025 was jointly signed by the Ochimba of Ewi Opala, Chief ION Jumbo, IC Wankwo, LO Wankwo, the Ewi Opala Youth Leader Paul Emeka Ebunefu, and CDC Chairman Amele Promise. When contacted by Nigeria Info, Living is denied making any threat against any individual, while Amefule Innocent Abam is reported to be in police custody and his son, Nochirim Innocent Abam, was said to be deceased. We're going to a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news. Venezuela's parliament has sworn in Delcy Rodriguez as interim president 2 days after U.S. forces arrested President Nicolas Maduro and took him to New York to face trial. Rodriguez, who was Maduro's vice president, took the oath of office on Monday at the National Assembly. She says she was taking on the role in the name of all Venezuelans and indicated her readiness to cooperate with the United States. Now, in sports, Nigeria Super Eagles defeated Mozambique 4-0 on Monday to qualify for the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations. Victor Osimhen scored 2 goals at the Super Eagles dominated the last 16 match. Ademola Lookman opened the scoring after 20 minutes. Well, on the news this morning, you heard former River State Commissioner Lelone Muibubasa is raising an alarm over the slow police investigation after political attack on him. We told you that former SSG to the River State government, Tammy Danagogo, is denying alleged involvement in assassination plot. We reported that the minister of the FCT in Somwike has clashed with the APC national secretary over Rivers politics. And on the foreign scene, Venezuela has sworn in an interim president after Maduro's arrest. The news was edited by Ifunanya Ubeme Ndukwe. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.